Hello, my friends. Sandy Brantley, also known as the Duck Wrangler. I am coming to you today from Virginia. We have made it to Virginia, y'all. Now I know many of you know that we had some car trouble, but I wanted to kind of bring you into our world a little bit and let you know what really happened that day. I want you to first know that I do not like road trips. This is no secret. I have told anyone and everybody who wants to listen that I don't like road trips. And I think that stems from my childhood. We did a lot of road trips and camping and that kind of thing as a child. And my dad, being military, wasn't always the easiest person to travel with. I love him, but everything had to be scheduled. So if you, let's say, had to go to the bathroom, we were making no stops until we had to get gas. So if that meant 2 hours from now, that meant you had to hold it for 2 hours. No joke. We also took long road trips in very small vehicles. For example, we took a trip from Texas to Massachusetts in the wintertime, had to follow a snowplow across Pennsylvania, no joke, in a Pinto station wagon with 5 people, 3 kids, and 2 dogs. Not to mention all of our Christmas presents because we were going to visit family up in Massachusetts. So I want you to kind of picture why I don't like road trips. Now, when we agreed to do this Great Duck Adventure, I knew my husband understood all of this, and he's been really good about making sure we have short trips so that we don't have to be in these long, crazy, in the car for long, crazy amounts of time, et cetera, et cetera. But I still don't love them, right? I still don't love being in the car for long periods of time. So we get to West Virginia. First of all, let me tell you, West Virginia is beautiful. If you have not visited West Virginia, you need to. It really is beautiful this time of year. Switchback roads, very narrow roads in some places. The highways have very steep inclines, and apparently Highway 77 is notorious for being one of the worst roads as far as inclines are concerned. And apparently it has been known to kill many a transmission, but who knew? So I want you to imagine a moment where we are driving up a very steep incline. You hear a funny noise come from the car, like one you've never heard before, and the car starts slowing down a little. Okay, so you glance over to your husband, hoping he'll say that everything's fine, and you say, "Are you okay, honey? Is everything okay?" And he says, "Nothing." Literally nothing. Okay, well, maybe he didn't hear me, so you say it again. And again, you get nothing. So now you know it's something, right? You know it's something. And you know that all of a sudden the car is slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. We're still in a forward motion, but now you're starting to be concerned that something bigger is about to happen. Fortunately, we were able to limp the car with the Airstream behind it to our destination and take the car to a mechanic, into a dealership to find out what was going on with it. Apparently, in the flats of Florida, our SUV is perfectly capable of traveling and carrying this load. However, in the crazy hills and inclines of West Virginia, it's not powerful enough. So I guess we blew the transmission. And anyway, we had to get a new truck, which I think may have been my husband's plan. I don't know if he'll admit it or not, but he's pretty excited to have a new truck. So you know what? All things worked out the way they were supposed to. But I wanted to talk to you about that moment that we had in the car where my husband was not answering me and I was freaking out. I knew at that moment he was freaking out. I knew things were not good. We knew how not good by the time we got to the mechanic the next day, and they told us how dangerous it was and how much danger we had actually been in. But in that moment, I knew I needed answers, but I knew that my husband needed quiet more. You guys ever had that moment where you really got to know something and you're panicking, you're freaking out, maybe something's happening and you don't know all that, you don't have all the details, but somebody else who's going through the middle of the same storm as you are can't answer you in that moment, can't give you the details you need. Sometimes you just have to take a step back and say, okay, they'll tell me when they're ready. So at that moment, my husband needed quiet because he was freaking out trying to deal with it. And if I had continued to ask him and ask him and ask him and push him and push him and push him, things would have gotten worse for both of us, right? We may not be married today. I'm just kidding. But the point is, sometimes you got to take that step back and allow somebody to have the space they need in any relationship, not just a marriage. So that's my little tip about our crazy, crazy antics of West Virginia. If you haven't visited, I highly recommend it. Just make sure that your truck is powerful enough, or you're not hauling anything. So that's my 2 cents. We enjoyed it. I am thankful we are finally moving on. We did lose a day from the Great Duck Adventure and have had to adjust some of our schedule. So we have had to cancel Williamsburg. If you guys are following our trip, we've had to cancel Williamsburg. We will be in Washington, D.C. tomorrow, but then we will be moving on to Fredericksburg, Pennsylvania. Okay, so we've made some adjustments. There probably is going to be some more adjustments coming, so stay tuned. I think we may have lost New York based on COVID requirements, or should say COVID guideline requirements. So we'll know in a few more days what's going on with that. In the meantime, it is rainy and yucky here, so that's why I'm inside my camper. My husband hates it when I call it camper. We're inside the Airstream, hanging out. We're getting ready to head back out here shortly, but I wanted to come to you guys and just kind of give you a little glimpse of what happened and tell you how truly thankful we are that God was with us, that He protected us, that we were safe, and all turned out well. Not to mention my husband is very thankful that he has a more powerful, very exciting new toy. So that's never a bad thing. Anyway, stay tuned. We're going to have some fun in the next couple of days. We have some kind of fun news coming out also. So stay tuned and we'll talk to you soon.